Marcus Aurelius once said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." In a world where emotions often feel like turbulent waves, how do we find our anchor? Join us as we explore 7 Stoic lessons that unlock the secret to mastering your emotions and navigating life's storms with unwavering resolve. Before we begin, I'd appreciate it if you liked the video to help spread the Stoic philosophy. If you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend doing so and activating the bell to ensure you don't miss any future videos. Lesson number 1, understand what's within your control. Have you ever felt caught in a storm, not a literal one, but the storms of life, like unexpected events, disappointments, or sudden changes? The Stoics, ancient philosophers from Greece and Rome, offer a lesson that serves as an anchor during these times: the dichotomy of control. Imagine this: you're planning an outdoor event, and despite all your careful preparations, it rains, no matter how much you wish otherwise. You can't control the weather, but your reaction to the rain, that's entirely in your hands. You could complain and get frustrated, or you could adapt, maybe by moving the event indoors or seeing the rain as a refreshing twist. Epictetus, a Stoic philosopher who was once a slave and later became one of the most influential thinkers of his time, put it simply: some things are in our control and others are not. It sounds straightforward, doesn't it? Yet within this simplicity lies a profound wisdom capable of transforming our lives. Every day, we face countless situations, some we can influence, like our daily routines, the books we choose to read, or the company we keep. But many things are beyond our control: global events, the actions of others, the passage of time, and yes, even the weather. Here's the interesting part: the Stoics believe that our well-being doesn't depend on external events, but on how we interpret and respond to them. It's not the event itself, but our judgment about the event that shapes our emotions. Think back to a time when you faced a setback. Maybe you didn't get that job you wanted. At the time, it felt like a disaster, but perhaps, with some distance, you realized it was a blessing in disguise, leading you to a better opportunity or personal growth. So how do we apply this principle in our daily lives? Start by asking yourself, is this something I have control over? If the answer is yes, take action. If the answer is no, then it's an opportunity to practice acceptance and adaptability. By truly understanding and internalizing this principle, we can free ourselves from unnecessary anguish. We can navigate life with a sense of calm, knowing that while we can't control the winds, we can adjust our sails. In a world that often feels chaotic, the dichotomy of control is a beacon of clarity. It reminds us to focus our energy where it truly matters and to embrace the serenity that comes with knowing some things are simply beyond our reach. In today's digital age, where immediacy is often celebrated, the art of reflection can seem like a relic of the past. Yet, this very act of pausing and pondering can be our saving grace in a world that demands rapid responses. Consider the countless times we're faced with decisions, both big and small, from choosing a meal at a restaurant to deciding on a career path. The spectrum of choices is vast, but it's not just the magnitude of these decisions that matters. It's the way we approach them. Let's delve into a common scenario: reading a message that strikes a nerve. Maybe it's a colleague questioning your work or a friend making an offhand comment. The gut reaction might be defensiveness or anger. But what if, instead of diving headfirst into that emotional whirlpool, you took a step back? By allowing yourself that momentary detachment, you're not suppressing your emotions. You're giving them space to breathe, to be understood. This practice of reflection is not about passive acceptance or avoidance. It's about active engagement with our thoughts and feelings. It's about asking probing questions. Why did this comment affect me so deeply? What underlying beliefs or past experiences are influencing my current emotions? Is my immediate reaction based on the present situation or past baggage? Moreover, reflection before reaction fosters empathy. By giving ourselves time, we also allow ourselves to consider the perspectives of others. Maybe that colleague had a stressful day, or that friend didn't realize the weight of their words. Through reflection, we open the door to understanding, not just for ourselves, but for those around us. In relationships, this practice can be foundational. How many misunderstandings could be avoided if we took the time to reflect before reacting? How many bridges could be built instead of burned? It's in these reflective moments that we find clarity. compassion, and connection. Furthermore, in professional settings, the ability to pause and ponder is invaluable. Leaders who reflect before making decisions are often more respected and effective. They are seen as thoughtful, measured, and wise. Their decisions, born from reflection, often stand the test of time. In a world that often feels like it's moving at breakneck speed, the act of reflection becomes a form of rebellion, a quiet yet powerful statement that we won't be swept away by the currents of immediacy. It's a commitment to ourselves, to our well-being, and to the quality of our interactions with the world. To reflect before reacting is more than just a practice. It's a philosophy, a way of life that champions depth over breadth, understanding over impulsivity, and meaningful connections over fleeting interactions. It's a journey inward that has profound outward implications, shaping not just our responses but the very fabric of our lives. In a world that often feels like an emotional roller coaster, the concept of practicing dispassion might seem out of place, but let's explore what it truly means and the transformative power it holds. Dispassion isn't about suppressing emotions or becoming indifferent to the world around us. It's about cultivating a balanced perspective, a calm amidst the storm. Imagine being able to observe events, situations, and even your own emotions without being overwhelmed by them. Think about the last time you watched a gripping movie. There were moments of tension, excitement, maybe even sadness, while you were engaged in the story. A part of you always knew it was just a movie. You didn't rush to help the hero or console the crying character. You observed, you felt, but you remained in your seat. This is the essence of practicing dispassion, being deeply engaged with life, feeling its many emotions, but also knowing when to remain seated in the theater of your mind, observing without getting lost in the drama. This approach becomes a lifeline in our modern age of information overload. Every day we're bombarded with news, updates, and notifications. Reacting passionately to every piece of information would leave us perpetually exhausted. Dispassion offers a buffer, a way to engage with the world in a more sustainable, balanced manner. Dispassion also plays a crucial role in interpersonal relationships. We've all been in situations where conversations get heated, where disagreements arise. In such moments, practicing dispassion can be the difference between a productive discussion and a damaging argument. It allows us to listen more effectively, to respond rather than react, and to navigate conflicts with understanding and grace. Cultivating dispassion starts with self-awareness, regularly checking in with ourselves, recognizing our emotional triggers, and understanding our patterns creates a space between stimulus and response. In that space lies the freedom to choose our reactions, to act with intention rather than impulse. And while dispassion might sound like detachment from life's joys and pleasures, it actually enhances them. By not being overly attached to outcomes, we can fully immerse ourselves in the journey, savoring each moment without the constant fear of loss or change. Practicing dispassion is about finding equilibrium in an ever-changing world. It's a compass that points to inner peace, guiding us through life's varied terrains with grace. By embracing this practice, we not only enrich our own lives, but also bring a sense of calm and clarity to those around us. Life is filled with moments that test our patience, resilience, and perspective. From minor inconveniences like spilled coffee to more significant challenges like disagreements with loved ones, our days are punctuated with situations that evoke a range of emotions. In the heat of the moment, it's easy to get swept up in the immediacy of our feelings. A missed deadline, a critical comment, or a forgotten anniversary can feel like the end of the world. But one powerful question can shift our perspective and bring clarity. Will this matter in 5 years? This simple yet profound question serves as a mental time machine, transporting us to the future and allowing us to look back at the present moment. Suddenly, that heated argument or that missed opportunity is seen in a different light. Most of the things we worry about today will be forgotten footnotes in the grand narrative of our lives. Consider the challenges and worries you had 5 years ago. How many of them still hold weight today? How many have been overshadowed by new experiences, learnings, and memories? This realization can be both humbling and liberating. Using this question as a regular touchstone helps in prioritizing our concerns. It assists us in distinguishing between short-term setbacks and long-term implications. For instance, while a bad day at work might feel overwhelming now, in the grand scheme of things, it's just one day in a career spanning decades. This perspective also fosters resilience. When faced with adversity, Reminding ourselves of the bigger picture can reduce anxiety and promote problem solving. Instead of getting bogged down by the problem at hand, we can strategize, adapt, and move forward, knowing that time often brings clarity and solutions. But it's not just about minimizing our current struggles. This question also helps us identify what truly matters. Relationships, personal growth, and meaningful experiences often have lasting impacts that extend well beyond 5 years. By focusing on these areas, we can lead more fulfilling lives, investing our time and energy in what genuinely counts. It's important to note that this approach doesn't dismiss our current feelings or challenges. Every experience, no matter how fleeting, contributes to our growth and understanding. However, by framing our experiences within a larger timeline, we gain the wisdom to navigate them with greater ease and perspective. So the next time you're faced with a challenge or decision, take a moment to ask yourself, will this matter in 5 years? The answer might surprise you, offering a sense of calm and direction that helps you navigate both the trials and triumphs of life. In the hustle and bustle of modern life, we often find ourselves caught in the relentless pursuit of more success, more recognition, more possessions. The quest for material wealth and external validation has become a cornerstone of contemporary society. But what if the key to true fulfillment lies not in accumulating more, but in realizing how little we actually need? The Stoics, known for their emphasis on simplicity and self-discipline, offer a timeless lesson: the pursuit of less can lead to a richer life. At first glance, this might seem counterintuitive. After all, isn't more supposed to make us happier? But let's delve deeper. Imagine your life as a backpack. Over the years, you've been adding items, possessions, responsibilities, and ambitions until the backpack is bursting at the seams. It's heavy, cumbersome, and exhausting to carry. Now, picture yourself removing items, one by one. With each item you discard, the load lightens, and you begin to move more freely. The air feels fresher, your step is lighter, and suddenly, you're able to enjoy the journey in a way you hadn't before. This isn't just a metaphor. The relentless pursuit of more often leads to stress, anxiety, and a sense of emptiness. We become trapped in a cycle of wanting, acquiring, and then wanting more. But when we shift our focus from accumulation to appreciation, everything changes. We begin to find joy in the simple pleasures: a morning walk, a deep conversation, a quiet moment of reflection. The practice of less isn't about renunciation or deprivation. It's about intentionality. It's about asking ourselves, do I really need this? Whether it's a physical possession, a social obligation, or a professional ambition, we can apply this question to all areas of our lives. Take, for instance, our digital lives. We're constantly bombarded with information, much of it unnecessary. Social media, news, emails, the list is endless. By consciously choosing to reduce our digital intake, we create space for more meaningful interactions, deeper focus, and mental clarity. Similarly, in our personal lives, we often take on commitments out of a sense of obligation or fear of missing out. But by simplifying our schedules, we can create more room for what truly matters: quality time with loved ones, pursuing a passion, or simply resting. The Stoic practice of less is about recognizing that our worth isn't tied to how much we have, but to how we live. It's about cultivating contentment, not an external abundance, but an inner peace. This doesn't mean that we should shun ambition or success. On the contrary, it encourages us to pursue our goals with clarity and purpose, free from the distractions of excess. By embracing the idea that less is more, we free ourselves from the chains of constant striving. We learn to appreciate what we have, to live in the present, and to find joy in the journey rather than the destination. It's a practice that leads not only to a simpler life, but to a more meaningful one. In the grand tapestry of life, where change is the only constant, the Stoic lesson of embracing change offers a compass for navigating the unknown. Change, whether anticipated or unexpected, is an inevitable part of the human experience. Yet, it's often met with resistance, fear, or anxiety. Why? Because as humans, we're wired to seek stability, to find comfort in the familiar. But what if, instead of fearing change, we embraced it as a natural and necessary force for growth and transformation? Imagine standing on the shore, watching the waves roll in. Each wave is different, some gentle, some powerful, yet all part of the same ocean. You can't stop the waves from coming, but you can choose how to respond to them, whether to brace against them or to ride them. Similarly, life's changes are like those waves. They'll keep coming, whether we're ready or not. The Stoics teach us that our well-being isn't determined by the waves themselves, but by how we respond to them. Marcus Aurelius, the philosopher king, wrote extensively about the impermanence of all things. He reminded himself daily that everything is in flux, that today's challenges will give way to tomorrow's opportunities. This mindset isn't about passivity or resignation. It's about active engagement with life's ebb and flow. It's about understanding that change, while often uncomfortable, is the catalyst for progress. Think about a time in your life when you faced a significant change. Perhaps it was the loss of a job, the end of a relationship, or a move to a new city. At the moment, it might have felt like the ground was shifting beneath your feet. But with time, that change may have led to new beginnings, unforeseen opportunities, or personal growth. By embracing change, we open ourselves to the vast possibilities that life offers. We learn to adapt, to innovate, and to grow in ways we never imagined. But embracing change doesn't mean we're immune to its challenges. It means we approach it with a mindset of curiosity rather than fear, of acceptance rather than resistance. It means trusting that even in the face of uncertainty, we have the resilience and inner resources to navigate whatever comes our way. The Stoic practice of embracing change is also about recognizing the impermanence of life itself. It's about cherishing the present moment, knowing that it won't last forever. This awareness deepens our appreciation for the here and now, for the people we love, the experiences we treasure, and the journey we're on. Embracing change also fosters a sense of freedom. When we let go of our need to control every aspect of our lives, we create space for spontaneity, for new experiences, and for personal growth. We become more resilient, more adaptable, and more at peace with the unfolding of our lives. So, as you stand on the shore of your own life, watching the waves of change roll in, remember the Stoic lesson: you can't stop the waves, but you can learn to ride them. Embrace change as a natural part of life, and you'll find that each wave brings with it the potential for new horizons and deeper understanding. In a world that's constantly on the move, where time seems to slip through our fingers like sand, the practice of daily reflection stands as a timeless pillar of wisdom. The Stoics, who walked the streets of ancient Rome and Athens, understood the power of this simple yet profound habit. They believed that by reflecting on our daily experiences, we could gain insight, cultivate virtue, and lead a more intentional life. But what does daily reflection look like in our modern lives? And how can it help us master our emotions? Imagine ending each day by sitting down with a journal or simply taking a few moments of quiet contemplation. You ask yourself, what did I do well today? Where did I fall short? What could I have done differently? These questions aren't about self-criticism, but about self-improvement. They help us recognize patterns in our behavior, understand our emotional triggers, and make conscious choices to act differently in the future. For the Stoics, daily reflection was a way to align their actions with their values. It was a practice of self-accountability. Marcus Aurelius, one of the most famous Stoic philosophers and emperor of Rome, would often write in his journal, reflecting on his day and reminding himself of the principles he wanted to live by. His writings, now known as meditations, are a testament to the enduring power of daily reflection. In our fast-paced world, it's easy to lose sight of what truly matters. We get caught up in the demands of work, the distractions of technology, and the pressures of society. Daily reflection offers a way to pause, to reconnect with our inner selves, and to ensure that we're living in accordance with our deepest values. But beyond its role in personal growth, daily reflection is also a powerful tool for emotional mastery. When we take the time to reflect on our day, we gain a clearer understanding of our emotions. We start to see the root causes of our frustrations, anxieties, and joys. This awareness allows us to navigate our emotional landscape with greater skill and wisdom. Moreover, daily reflection fosters gratitude. By reviewing our day, we can identify moments of beauty, kindness, and connection that we might have otherwise overlooked. This practice of gratitude helps to balance our perspective, shifting our focus from what's lacking to what's abundant in our lives. In the grand scheme of things, daily reflection is a small investment of time with profound returns. It's a practice that brings clarity to our minds, peace to our hearts, and direction to our lives. By making it a regular part of our routine, we not only become better at mastering our emotions, but also more intentional in our actions, more connected in our relationships, and more fulfilled in our lives. To conclude, the wisdom of Stoicism offers us timeless lessons for mastering our emotions and living a more intentional life. These lessons, though ancient, are remarkably relevant in our modern world. They remind us that true power lies not in controlling external events, but in mastering our inner responses. Through practices like negative visualization, the dichotomy of control, focusing on what truly matters, embracing simplicity, accepting change, and daily reflection, we can cultivate resilience, clarity, and peace of mind. These practices encourage us to live with intention, to act with virtue, and to find contentment in the present moment. As we navigate the complexities of life, the teachings of the Stoics serve as a guiding light, helping us to steer our course with wisdom and grace.